Do you ever wonder why it can be challenging to make some health goals stick? Or have you really understood what can make a difference in the stages of change? Well, this video hopefully will help you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Dr. Erica Steele. I'm a board certified naturopathic doctor. I hold 7 degrees in my field, all in the natural healthcare space. And this is week 4 of Intro to Holistic Medicine. If you're just joining, welcome. You didn't miss, you missed some, but you can definitely catch up. It's a self-paced course. You can jump in right now by filling out the form by the link in my bio, and then you'll receive access to the course and all of the replays. You can catch up. You can, sip in right here, whichever. This week as well, I'll be on a panel with 100 packs on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll be discussing all things holistic health. There'll be other practitioners and other people of interest on the panel. Thursday, my weekly webinar, Lunch and Learn, is going to be on stress management. And then naturally, if you are enrolled in the Intro to Holistic Medicine course, we meet live Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Saturday at 11 a.m. And so I'll see you there. Otherwise, if you can't make it live, there will be replays available. Just check out the links below. So what are the stages of change? The stages of change are also part of the transtheoretical model, where it really talks about how we as humans move through these different phases when adopting healthier habits. So let's go into the stages of change if you're not familiar with them. The first one is pre-contemplative. So you're not yet considering change. Maybe you're not aware of a problem, or you don't need to see change. And I would say even before that is denial, right? And those people, they don't see change. They don't see the problem. It's like literally talking to a brick wall. So naturally, if somebody is there, they're not going to be watching my videos. They're not going to be interested. In fact, they're going to be highly triggered at the very idea of doing anything. So they're going to double down and move the other way. So, but if they're in pre-contemplative, they're a little bit farther along. They may not be aware. They may not see it, but they're open on some level. Whereas when they're contemplative, now they're thinking about making the change soon, but they might be unsure. They might feel overwhelmed, ambivalent. There's all kinds of emotions attached to it because there's change. It's resistance. There's going to be things that are not going to be comfortable, right? And so when we move then to preparation, we've decided that change is inevitable. Change is what needs to happen. And so we're going to begin to make those plans. So we're going to start to maybe meal prep or schedule those workouts, or, and really just kind of thinking about, we're not actually in the action phase yet. We're just getting set up. We're like, how am I going to do this? What am I, we're more in kind of researching. And then in the action phase, we're actively implementing our new habits. So now we've got our workout routine. Now we've got our, water goal. We've got, the things that we need to put in place. We've got the tools. We've got the structure. We're executing. And so once we get up, and we're doing it consistently and we sustain our habits, now we're in the maintenance phase. And so we go over time and we make adjustments as needed to maintain your progress. When I typically work with patients one-on-one, so there's kind of 2 different types of aspects. Well, 3 actually. There's self-guided with patients that just need occasional check-in, that kind of thing. But there's also patients that need a little bit more support. And so those patients, I see them every 2 months. And so those patients who their foundational health concerns are addressed. They know how to eat healthy. They know how to drink enough water. They don't have any of those nutritional symptoms. They're more so just looking to maintain and prevent, manage their supplement regimen, manage their labs, and make sure that their remote patient monitoring information and their data is trending in the right direction. And if not, what can they do actionably and practically in order to shift, right? But then there's also these patients who need heavy handholding. Those are my fully managed care plan. And those patients I see every 3 weeks. And how I determined to see them every 3 weeks is because when we were working with change, right, I would, pretty much overwhelm them with information in a week. I didn't intend to, but of course, like I'm giving you a fire hose of information. And so the first week, usually patients were pretty dizzy with all the new information coming in. And then, a week after, they would kind of start, okay, now I need to start implementing some things. So they would start putting some things in place. And then inevitably, right, resistance come up and, I don't want to do it. And all the what ifs and yeah, buts and how nots and all of that comes up, right? And then boom, I see them again. And so over a year of doing that, seeing a patient every 3 weeks, you would be absolutely amazed at of the transformations that we would see, right? Because it really prevented relapse. And so relapse is a natural part of the process where you temporarily revert to old habits, right? So you have a default state that if you get overwhelmed, you're going to go back to no matter what. If you start working on the diet and then all of a sudden you have a stressful day, you may be, back to your sugar habits. You don't always have to be, but that is something that can take place in that relapse state. So having that accountability, having that coaching, having that education every 3 weeks really solidifies it. Now, it wasn't for everybody, right? And so that's why I did the semi-managed, because some people did not need that level of accountability or need that level of support or even want that level of support and accountability. However, for those people really invested in making true transformations, they do more fully managed, and we see them every 3 weeks. And you would be so surprised at the changes that they make. So why does these stages of change matter? So you know where you are in this cycle, right? You're talking to yourself, you're coaching yourself, right? When you know where you are in this cycle, it will help you to adopt strategies to help you suit your current mindset, to then move you from maybe where you're stuck at to a place of readiness where you can make changes more effectively and sustainably. It's all about using less energy and conserving. And so, for example, someone in a contemplative stage might benefit from motivation and education, where someone in more of a maintenance phase may just need accountability and support, right? So it statistically shows that studies that apply these stages of change and truly understand it significantly improve their likelihood of achieving those long-lasting health goals. Actually, the success rate for people that implemented stages of change went up by 40% compared to traditional methods alone. So really understanding and customizing and personalizing where someone is in the journey and speaking to where they're at. So here's how we can navigate this each stage practically. So if they're in a pre-contemplative, meaning they're thinking about it, right? It's really about increasing awareness. So when people, I call them kind of tire kickers. So they'll call and or they won't even call. Sometimes they'll just see me online and they'll, make a response. And so then I'll give them free resources, right? And I continue to give people free resources so that, you continue to see me as an authority in the field, but also you're able to gain that exposure from me again and again and again. And so you're able to follow a journey and able to follow my work, as we're building the contemplative. So if a person is in a contemplative state, meaning they're like, okay, I maybe do need to do some work, they're going to be weighing out their pros and their cons, right? They're going to be going, okay, how is this going to, when I was, deciding to leave the country, I did a pros and cons. I also did a lot of visualization, a lot of meditation, right? I wasn't ready to go yet, but I was thinking about it and trying to get some confirmation within myself. Contemplative time is a really silent time, a more internal time. Contemplative time, I would say, it's okay to talk to other people and ask their opinion, but sometimes when you get too many chiefs and not enough Indians, it can get a little crazy. And so making sure, that, you are secure in your decision making and your thoughts and your feelings and all of those things, right, before you go and share and get perspectives. The next step is preparation. So those people in the preparation stage, they need specific plans. They need clear objectives. They need goals. That's why we do checklists and things like that, because it really can help a person see what's in front of them. And so then they can implement these changes. And so when they get into the implementation phase, now they're in the action phase. And so that's where they're tracking their metrics. They are doing their modalities and their treatments. They are, contributing to the discussions. They are really a part of the community. They're working towards, creating whatever transformation they're looking to accomplish. Then you kind of get into more of a maintenance phase where you begin to develop coping strategies. So like when I meal prep my food, for instance, I had, realized that, the all day Sunday prep was not for me. I needed to do kind of every day or every other day. And so I noticed that because it was a maintenance tool, I relapsed, right? Because I was threw my food out and was ordering food, and I observed myself doing that. So then I go, okay, what do I need to change? What do I need to move? What is missing the presence of of which would make a difference here in this particular situation. And for me, it was like, oh, you know what? That's easy. Let me just make less food, and make it fresh every day, and leverage some more appliances. So, those relapses can really give you a lot of insight. So, don't be discouraged if you're in maintenance mode where you're, going and you're maintaining and everything, and then boom, you have a relapse, because that's not indicative of, oh, you're not doing well and all this stuff. Like, really, don't get into the drama. Sometimes you have to get into the drama and the poor me's and all of that. And that sometimes that is where you need to work on. Sometimes that's your inner child. Sometimes that's a trauma response. There's all kinds of different reasons, right? However, we want to keep trying and get our results. And so because of that, we're going to revisit our motivation in relapse phase. We're going to analyze what led to our relapse, and we're going to adjust our plan. So change is not linear. It is definitely a journey. There's a lot of steps involved. I like to say it's messy. Humans are messy, and it's okay to be messy. It's okay, to express yourself as a human being. And so understanding these stages of change not only helps you to be more self-aware, but empowers you to navigate this journey more effectively. So super excited to teach more about all of the things about holistic health this week. Definitely join one of our amazing classes. If you're not able to catch them live, there are replays available. So check those out wherever you can, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, IG, or LinkedIn, wherever best suits you. And thank you and your family for living naturally.